Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. It's a big week for Newcastle United. 2 games this week. Tomorrow night we take on Brighton at St James's Park. This is the preview. We will be talking about what we can expect from Brighton, what we hope to see from Newcastle. Eddie Howe has done his press conference today where he's gone through injuries, people that we won't see feature for tomorrow night's game, with some disappointing answers from Eddie Howe this morning as well. What he wants to see from the crowd tomorrow night, and we'll also get into my predicted lineups and predictions. So be sure to let me know your lineups and predictions down below. But that's just the first of 2 games this week, because we also take, this week, Monday night, all right. We take on Leicester on Monday night for our second home game in a row before we take on Chelsea for the final game of the season. People are calling this game against Brighton a must-win. I tell you what, and I've said this on the channel a fair bit, I always try not to use the words must-win, because it's not yet. It's not yet. If we don't beat Brighton, we're still in for a shot of Champions League football. Obviously, you're looking at other results. You're looking at the game against Leicester. You're looking at the game against Chelsea. It's not there yet. But my God, it's close. Eddie Howe spoke about needing to bring our A game, needing to step up to the occasion. And I'll tell you what, let's talk about Newcastle first. What we hope to see from Newcastle tomorrow night at St James's Park. And it's that. It's exactly that. It's stepping up to this game and getting the job done. And there's a bit of arguing on social media of Newcastle fans saying, you know, we only ask for a team that tries, not a team that wins. And look where we were, you know, a season ago or 2 seasons ago, and where we are now. And I am totally on that wavelength. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what happens in the next few games, we will be playing Europa League football. We will be playing abroad next season. We will be bringing back matches under the lights at St James's Park. And I cannot tell you how excited I am for that. But at the same time, it's still okay to want the most. It's still okay to want the best for your team. It's still okay to be disappointed if you don't get what you hope to see in the next 3 games. You can have both. It isn't one or the other. You can be happy with what we have achieved already, but you can still hope for more. And you can still be disappointed if we don't get there. We have been in pole position for this Champions League spot for a long time this season. And Eddie Howe said it in his interview, which I'll jump into now, why not? Eddie Howe said that had you, was it today or maybe a previous interview, had you offered him this chance at the start of the season, you'd rip your arm off. You'd rip both your arms and your legs and your head off to be currently, you know, in the top 4 with 3 games to go and the favourite right now, other than Man City and Arsenal, to get a Champions League spot. You know? So there's still work to be done. And as I say, the work starts tomorrow night against Brighton. Eddie Howe said that he wants a calmness and to get the basics right, which I totally agree with. I think we have been really good this season. And what have we done so well this season? The simple things right. We've got one of the fittest teams in the league. We run harder than anybody else. We run further than anybody else. We put on some of the best pressure. We have the best defensive record in the league still. Probably should have fact-checked that. We've been very good defensively. And we need to get those things right. You know, Eddie Howe has said, don't overcomplicate things in a game where there is pressure. Eddie Howe spoke about the fact that it's a privilege to have pressure. It's a privilege that we've put ourselves in a spot that creates pressure on us and creates pressure on our players, because it means we're doing something right. It means we're putting ourselves in a place where we have to perform. And it's going to be tough. Look, Brighton are a good side. Brighton themselves are playing very well this season as well, going from Graham Potter to De Zerbi. Brighton still technically have an outsider shot at Champions League this season, so they are going to be going for it. They are still in a pole position to get Europa League football. I think they are 1 point ahead of Villa and Spurs, but have 2 games in hand, got loads of games in hand. And they've just beat Arsenal 3-0. They're a good side. They also beat Wolves 6-0 a couple of games ago as well. They're a good side. but they also have a loss in them as well. Before beating Arsenal 3-0, they lost to Everton 5-1. And a couple of games before that, they lost against Nottingham Forest as well. So, historically, we don't often have the most exciting games against Brighton. I've sat through a fair few 0-0s. Still, my favourite goal against Brighton was Diarme's kick off his ankle that accidentally went in. So it shows, what you get from a Newcastle-Brighton game. And I said it yesterday or the day before in my video. If you offer me 1-0, boring game, 1-0 win, God, I take it right now. It could be exciting. It's a game that you could see. Well, Eddie Howe mentioned it. Tactically, how will the two teams go out? How will the two teams play? We want 3 points. And 3 points is big for Brighton as well. Does that result in is it going to be end-to-end? Is it going to be loads of goals for it to actually be a 0-0? Possibly, because that's normally what we see in a Brighton game. But I'm hoping that's not the truth. And I will come on to my prediction at the end of the video as well. A few other things that Eddie Howe mentioned. He spoke on injuries and players who are and are not available for the game tomorrow night. Sean Longstaff will miss tomorrow night's game. Who would have thought a couple of years ago, if you'd said to me, Newcastle would be challenging for a Champions League spot and that I would be gutted that Sean Longstaff isn't going to make the starting 11. Wow. How quickly things can change. How quickly things can change under Eddie Howe. How much better he's made certain players. How much better he's made Sean Longstaff. How much better he's made us as a team. And what a great place he's put us in. Yet Sean Longstaff's injury is still there. He is recovering. It's not a doubt. Eddie Howe said that he wouldn't be available for tomorrow's game, but it sounds like we could potentially see him back in time for Leicester or Chelsea. That's the thing, with 2 games to go, often at this point you may well say to a player, look, you're out for the season. But as I say, madness, Sean Longstaff has been big for us, and you can see it in the last couple of games, just needing that guy just to do some of the dirty work in the middle of the park. And it's not just that, actually. I think Longstaff gets labelled with that quite a lot. It's, oh yeah, he's the guy who gets the tackles and wins the ball. In fairness, quite a few of our players are quite good at getting the ball and winning the tackles. I feel like Eddie Howe's system is so well ran, and he's got the players doing exactly what he wants them to do. When you remove a piece of that jigsaw, it doesn't click quite the same. And I feel that's a little bit what we're seeing with Longstaff. Suddenly, Joe Linton's dropped out of the team. Oh, hang on, Willock's not there. And it's like when a certain piece of the jigsaw is removed, things don't quite move through the park quite so seamlessly. Murphy has also been flagged as a doubt as well. Again, Murphy, 2 seasons ago, would you say that we're desperate for Murphy to be back here? I don't know if I would have believed you, but honestly, I think Murphy has stepped up so well. I think he complements the way Eddie Howe plays his football. I think having someone right-footed on the right-hand side helps. His overlaps around Trippier, he knows what he's doing. I have included Murphy in my lineup. Despite the fact that Eddie Howe said it's a doubt, I have put him in anyway because I'm hoping that he'll be back. I think he may well do it. And strangely enough, Murphy's not the player you might suggest would be rushed back from injury to play. I think if Eddie Howe can get him in, he'll play him. But you can let me know your thoughts on lineups down below. This is my lineup here. Defensively, I've probably not surprised you too much. Pope in goal with Trippier, Shaw and Botman. Left back, I have gone for Dan Burn. I saw a few people on social media saying, is it a chance for seeing Target? I don't think so. Unless there's something that's keeping Dan Burn out, I imagine it will be him who plays. We did see Target come back in. I thought he did all right. I think the reason Target may not have looked the best when he did come back is because he hasn't played all season. And to just throw him back in and expect him to be amazing is tough. Brighton are a quick, fast, powerful side, and up against a Dan Burn who has lost out at times to tricky, quick players, but overall has been good. And he talked about Eddie Howe's system and who plays where and who's here and who knows what to do. Dan Burn knows it off the back of his hand now. So, yes, that's the back four and goalkeeper I've gone for. Into midfield, well, without Longstaff, I think it stays the same. I think it's Willock, Bruno and Joe Linton. I would And we'll get on to my front three. You can see, yeah, I've gone with Murphy, Isak, and I've gone for Gordon, which I'll come on and talk about a little bit in a minute. I've put Gordon in there. If Longstaff was fit, it would have been Joe Linton left and Longstaff in the middle. And I think that's probably what Eddie Howe would have gone for as well. It's not just the fact that Longstaff isn't available. It's that he can't play the players where he wants them, because I think he likes Joe Linton on the left. And I would like Maxi to be involved more, although I do like Wilson, Isak together as well. Joe Linton's the man who's kind of done us a good job so far. So yeah, in the middle, it's not too much needs explaining there. Up top is a little bit different. So on the right-hand side, I've gone for Murphy. You could question Almiron. Could Almiron have played out there? Look, Almiron was so good for a great spell at the start of the season, and he literally dragged us through at times this season. He was the only one scoring, he was the only one shooting, he was the only one creating chances, but since he's been out of the team, since he had that injury, since he's come back, he's not been quite there. And it's confidence. He needs to come in and feel like he's the main man again, and it takes a bit of time to do that. The problem is, we haven't got time. We don't have time for Miggy to be trying to get his confidence back. We need someone who's in there and he's hitting the ground running, which is why I've gone for Murphy, because he's doing that right now. You saw that when Almiron came back, he kind of went back to his, I'll turn around and pass it back again. No, Almiron, Miggy, run. Just run at the goal. Just shoot. We didn't quite see that in the time that he did play it. Everton specifically, I think that was a tough game anyway, because they were really pressuring us. But yeah, if Murphy's fit, I think we'll play him. If Murphy's not fit, I think it will be Almiron. Up front, I've gone for Isak up top on his own with Gordon out on the left. Now, I know that people were very excited to see Isak and Wilson play together. We've just saw Wilson score 2 goals against Leeds. Yes, they were both penalties, but he scored 2 goals. He's going to be confident. I think we go to what we did against Southampton. I think in that first half against Southampton at home, Gordon played well. He wasn't amazing, but we got on the ball. He had the best chances that we had. He hit the post. I say give him 45 minutes with Isak up front. And that way we're not overplaying Wilson. We're not overdoing the Wilson-Isak together. And against the Brighton side, who will be pressuring us, I think having Wilson on for the second half, right, it's 1-1, but we've got to get the win. Get Wilson on now. Let's not play all of our cards from the start and whistle. Let's maybe leave it. Let's give Gordon that goal. Give him 30 minutes. We could bring Wilson on in the first half if we want to. You've got 5 subs to make. Well, we haven't got 5 people on the bench, you know. You may as well try and spread it around a little bit. So that's what I've gone for. I think that might be a difference of opinion in the comments on that one. I think Wilson Isak is a popular option. We've seen how good they can be, but I don't necessarily think we need to show our hands so early in the game. I think Wilson coming on for 45 minutes full of beans, full of confidence, can take us where we want to go. And I think it gives Gordon a chance out on that side as well. But you let me know your thoughts down below. And as for a prediction, well, I've kind of given it away already, to be honest. 1-0 Newcastle. Who doesn't love an exciting end-to-end game? What I love more is a 3 points. So give me the 1-0 and I'll take that home right now. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know how important this game is to you. Is it a must-win for Newcastle right now? I tell you what, it's as close as it's been in a very long time. It really is. And I'm hoping we can get the job done. All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, drop a like and subscribe. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I will be at the game tomorrow. Pre-match chat, vlog, reaction. Let's hope it's that 3 points we're looking for. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.